Hello everyone, welcome to this video. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to create another service similar to the one which we have already done previously, and then you'll also learn how to create a Eureka server and integrate with our microservices. Okay, so in the previous video, what we have done is we have created an employee service, and then we have uh, linked with an employee repository, and which is connected to our H2 in-memory database. So today what we are going to do is we are going to create another similar type of service, that is a department service. Okay. And we are going to create a department repository, just like we have done in the previous video, and we will have an in-memory database H2 for it. Okay, so let's move to our start.spring.io. So we are going to use the Maven build tool, language as Java, 3.0.0 as Spring Boot version, and here I'm going to give the same package name. This, let's give it department service. Okay, and the dependencies would be the same which we have added last time, so that would be Spring Web, Spring Data JPA, H2 database, and also the Eureka discovery client. So these are the 4 dependencies we have taken. So let's generate this project. So this is getting downloaded. So let me open the folder. So we are going to unzip this folder. Okay, so as you can see, it's the similar structure. So let's quickly open a command prompt here. Let me maximize this and let us build this project once. VNW clean install. So by the time this is getting installed, let's download our let's create our Eureka server as well. So here I'm going to give the name as Eureka server. Okay, and the dependencies will not need this dependencies, so we will just need this Eureka server. Okay, let's generate this one as well. Yeah, that was pretty quick. So let's unzip this. Yeah, so we will have to build this one as well. So let's open a command from another one here. VNW clean install. So as I had mentioned earlier, so this compiles the code, and it also downloads all the dependencies which are needed, like which are not already present in our .m2 folder. Okay, so as you can see, there were many dependencies which were not already present for the Eureka server, so it is downloading all of them. Yeah, so both of them have built successfully, and we can see there is some exception. Okay, because as I already mentioned, this is trying to connect to our Eureka server, and we have not given any configuration to it, so it's not able to know where the Eureka server is. Okay, so let's quickly import these two projects in our Eclipse. So file, import existing Maven projects, and we are going to first browse the department service. Just select this folder, and we will also import our Eureka server. We'll browse it. We'll select this folder. Okay, so now what we can do is, so this is the same property file which we would need for our department service as well. So let's just copy this from the employee service, and we will add to the application properties of our department service. So we'll have to change the port. Let's make it department microservice. We are enabling the H2 console, showing the SQL queries. Let's change this name to department database. Okay, that's it. So now this has also come with our Spring Boot application class, which is the starting point of any Spring Boot application. So let's create our model class. Model package. In it, we are going to create our department model. So this is our entity to be mapped with the database table. And also the table annotation. So here also we are going to have an ID parameter and as well as a name parameter. And ID, we want this to be a primary ID. So for that we have to add this generated value, like we want it to auto increment. So we are going to give the generation type as identity, and let's generate some getters and setters. So this getters and setters, we can also use another library called Lombok, but let's make it simple for now. Okay, so we have got our getters and setters. Now let's create the repository part. So we'll create a package repository. In this repository, we are going to have an interface, department interface, and we are going to use the JPA repository. So the type would be the department model which we have just created, and the ID is integer. Okay, so and let's give this annotation. Okay, so now our model and repository is ready. Okay, I have this, let's rename it to department repository. Okay, So now let's create our service package, service, and in this we are going to have an interface as department interface, and we are going to have just one method for now, public list of departments, get all departments. Let's just give this name. So Java, this is the java.util, and this is the one which we have create department. Yeah, and then let's create the implementation class for this interface. That would be the department service IMPL, and this is implementing the department service. Okay, wait, I'm not sure why I'm using this name, so let's just rename it to department service for more readability. Okay, and it has to implement the methods which are defined in our service interface. So for that, first we have to auto-wire our repository department repository, and let's return the departments, find all. Now let's create our controller which would have our endpoint. Controller, one thing we need to give this service annotation. Yeah, so in the controller package, let's create our controller class, department controller, and this would be a REST controller. So let's have one get mapping here as departments. Okay, so we are going to return the list of departments, department, get all departments, and we need to auto wire our service here, department service, and let's return the departments. Okay, so let's quickly run this and see if everything works fine. So I'm going to go to this main starting point, run as a Java application. Yeah, so we can see Tomcat started on port 8082. So let me show you. Localhost 8082, and departments. So as you see, like we have not added any data in our database, so that is why it is an empty array. Let's see if our H2 console works fine. So this has to be department database. Yeah, so the department table is created and there is no data in it. So this looks fine. So let's add some data to our department service. So we need to create this import file, import.sql. So it's trying to open in SQL editor. So let's open with a text editor. So we are going to insert some department names here. Insert into department name values. Let's give it banking and financial services. Let's add some other department. Technology. Government sector. So these are basically the domains which I'm adding. Okay. So we have added about 4 departments. Let's see. So I'm just stopping the one. So generally what happens with Tomcat is if it face a lot of issues that it's already running, and so to stop it completely, it's better to use this double cross whenever we are stopping the application and restarting it, or else we might face issues with the Tomcat. So just use this double cross and let's run this department service again. So it has dropped the existing table, created a new table, and yeah, and it has inserted these values. So let's quickly check in our H2 console. So if I try to run, it will ask me to log in again. Yeah, so these got inserted in the database successfully. Let's just check our endpoint which we have defined in the controller. Yeah, so we got the IDs as well as the names of the departments. Okay, so this is our second service which we have created. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create our like we have already imported the Eureka server, but that needs a little configuration to be done. So let's finish that as well. So we have to give the server port. Okay, so let's give it a name as a Eureka server, and then we have like some properties. Yeah, so what we try to do is like this is a Eureka server, so we don't want it to register with any other Eureka server if that exists in our system. And also we are not asking it to fetch the registry, like not register and not fetch any other registry, because this itself is a Eureka Server. Okay, and this is one configuration which we have to do for the Eureka Server. The other one would be yeah, so we just have to add one annotation, enable Eureka Server, and that is it. Our Eureka Server is ready. Okay, so let's start this one as well. I'm not stopping this department service, I'll let it run, and let's start this Eureka Server as well. Okay, it started already on port 8761. So let's quickly go to that port and check what's going on. Yeah, so our Eureka server is up and it's running. And here, like when you give this URL and the port, it gives you this UI. So here we can see like as of now there are no instances which have registered, there are no services which have registered with Eureka server. So yeah, some general information. Okay, so let's stop our order. So what I'll do, I'll just stop this Eureka server here, and let's start it from the command prompt. Okay, let's stop all the processes which are running, even the department service. So if you remember, we have given this property enabled false. So let's remove this property, or we can make it true. So by default would be true. This is in the department service as well as in the employee service. We will make it as true. Okay. So now what happens is, so this is our department service. So suppose this is our employee service. Employee repository. So what happens is these both now tries to register with our Eureka server. So this is our Eureka server. So both of them would register themselves, register their instances in the Eureka server. Okay. So both the department service as well as employee service will register in the Eureka server, and we can see those instances in the Eureka server UI. Okay, let's quickly start all the three. So I'm going to start the employee service. The department service as well as the Eureka server. Okay, all the three. So let's refresh this and check if these services are getting registered with our Eureka server. So Eureka server is not yet up. Yeah. So our Eureka server is up now. Let's see if our department and employee services registered, like have registered with this Eureka server. Yeah. So as you can see, employee microservice is registered and the status is up. We should be able to see. Yeah. So both our microservices have registered with the Eureka server. So this is basically a service registry which keeps a track of all the other uh, microservices which are present in our application. Okay. Yeah. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it. Thank you.